Okay, in 2 minutes, we're gonna start.
Should I start it?
Just 1 minute, 1 minute. Let's wait a bit that the other colleagues are joining.
Do the camera is open? Yeah.
Yeah, we can see. We see you.
So should I start right now, or we will wait?
Okay, we can start. Let me introduce the session and then I give you the floor. So welcome back to the Economic Social Forum. We are at the last day. It's been like a nice journey. Our topic has been soil as a common. We started the first day talking about soil as a common and also different experience that regards soil protection and soil stewardship. We passed through the sustainable living that are keen if we are like working and protecting the soil, but also we come into the youth engagement, indigenous people, and protection of soil done, for example, by farming. Now we are in the last day where we will face also innovation regarding protection of soil. And as we did the last days, we share experiences with nice speakers, with amazing speakers that do something that is peculiar and is regarding properly the protection of soil. And so let's start with this last and final day of the Climate Social Forum 2025. We have the honor and the pleasure to have with us a different speaker. Let's start with Akar Subi from Yakdar NGO. So thank you very much, Akar, for being with us. It's a great honor and pleasure to have you here. So please, the floor is yours to introduce yourself and go with your presentation.
Thank you, dear Domenico, for the opportunity. Hello, everyone. I'm Hakkar from Kurdistan region of Iraq. I'm the founder and director of Yagdar organization. So, yeah, the event is very useful, and also I'm appreciated and also very honored to be a part of this. I would love to share some of the experience how we started Yagdar, which means one tree in Kurdish language. So yeah, I will start from the beginning. So those are some of our sponsor, and there is some of our partners right now. And yeah, today we will talk about the profile of Yagdar, how we started, then the issues and problems that we are trying to find solutions for them, also outcomes and impacts that we that we see from our actions, also SDG strategies that we started from the beginning, that we want to have a very long journey with SDGs, and yeah, we try as much as we can to have actions related that. So yeah, the idea of Yagdar started like we were a very small group of students in the primary school, where we were doing some activities related to the environment and the climate change, especially like we were planting seeds, flowers and trees. Also, we were cleaning the school, and also some activities in the community. So the idea of Yagdar started when we were planting a tree, like each student and each member of that group, like we were planting a tree, and then we were taking care of those trees. We were very young. I was about like around yeah, my age was 60, 70, something like that. So yeah, we started to plant a tree. Then we were taking care of that tree. Then after we finished the primary school, we went to the university. Then we knew that the impact that we had from planting one tree was, was giving us some feelings that, I don't know how to explain that feeling, but it was something very amazing, because we were feeling that we were having impact to the people around us. Then we gathered with friends, and we tried to create the group called Yekdar, which we started from planting one tree. Then we said, let us make a group, we gave it the name Yekdar. Then during the starting for the group, we tried to go to different schools, different universities, and even we went to other cities and also around the region. We were trying to participate different activities with different organizations and also authorities. So yeah, the seed we planted, then we started to do some events, and because we were bigger, like bigger than a small group, then after years of doing volunteering with different groups and also different organizations, in 2022 we registered Yagdar as an organization. Then we became, a bigger group of youth, and also right now a bigger group of environmentalists. And we try to learn the activities and how to find solutions to the environmental issues by practicing, by participating different events. So yeah, Yagdar became a non-profit organization from 2022 to now. And we have right now, we have a strategy, we have a vision and also mission to be bigger, to go deeper, to have a longer journey with the finding solutions to our problems. So yeah, this is how it started, and this is right now the team with me, and also we have a bigger team right now. So step by step, we became a bigger group. Right now, we are more than 250 volunteers across the region. We even have some volunteers from other countries. So we try as much as we can to have a bigger impact, to have bigger projects. So yeah, the solutions that we started from the beginning, how to find some solutions, like we focused on those solutions that we could at least manage them. Sometimes you couldn't find solutions, or let us say we couldn't do some actions that let us say, be impactful. So we went to do some alternatives. So something related to the plastic, we were about to share awareness. Also, we were during our awareness activities, we were also giving the alternative to the hands to those students. So yeah, we went to different high schools, and we were removing the plastic from all of those schools. For example, from one of the schools that we went to, uh, we were giving 408 reusable bottles to all of the students. Even some students were not at the school. We were giving to their teachers, so when they return, they could at least use that reusable bottles. And in that school, after 2 weeks and a month, we were going to the same school to do evaluation. So we were looking to even the trash, even we couldn't find the plastic in their trash bags. So yeah, the impact was very quickly come to the place. So until now, like we distributed 1,200 reusable bottles. Actually, the presentation is old, but we like the number of reusable bottles is more than this, but like we didn't update it. So yeah, this is some of our activities that we did related to the plastic. Mhm. So you can see how students were coming to through their trash, their plastic, and in the same time they were giving like taking some uh, let us say some awareness related to the plastic, how plastic is bad for their health first and then to the environment. So another thing, like we were always focusing, like we wanted to at least let us say increase the part of the greens in the cities and urban trees. So we know that our region is a very small region, but it's growing very fast, and this growing is not sustainable, which is like a lot of companies, a lot of authorities use a lot of concrete instead of the green green places. So because we saw that the bad impact from those places from the concrete, we had the idea to increase to add some of the urban trees. So yeah, related to this one, a part of the planting in schools, in universities, we were going to different communities to give them trees, to plant trees in their houses. So yeah, we were replacing the concrete to the trees plant. And also another side of the YAGDAR, we focus on the environmental education. We had some let us say some projects related to this one. One of them, which we are very proud of it, is the Future Flowers Festival. We were using the art as a tool for awareness to the climate change and also to the environment. So yeah, we were using the art as a tool for sharing the awareness to the environment. And so this is our some of the pictures that we were taking from like during the festivals. Like in the process was like this. We were going to schools and creating like first we were sharing the awareness to the all of the students related to the environment. Then we were making different groups, like a group for art, painting, I mean, and a group for music, and also another group for theater. Then each group, like we were preparing during like 1 month, like 1 month, they were preparing something related to the environment. For example, like a music group, we were preparing a music related to the environment, and also were students who were painting or recycling things or making something from the painting. Like it was also about the environment and about like the let us say the local environment around them, because we were going to different local places. Like some of the places were in the mountains, like say they were sharing something related to the mountain, and some of others were far from the mountain and they were like close to the desert, and they were preparing something related to their local environment. And about the theater as well, it was the same. So yeah, about the planting, I mean, as we started from planting, like we started from small numbers, and right now we are trying to have a bigger numbers and also bigger impact from that. Right now, we are busy with our 10,000 trees planting. I'm very glad that last, let us say, 2 days, 3 days, we reached 5,000 trees in our this project, and we are continuing to plant 10,000 and more. And yeah, so our impact will show in this screen. So, for example, like in 2018, that we were a small group, we planted about 200 trees and more than it. Then, like by years by years, we reached 1,150 trees. Like the numbers is more than this one actually, but those trees which we are like we know where we planted those trees, and we know how people take care of them. Even other side, like we planted trees in mountains, in other places that we are not, like we didn't record it. That So the number is bigger than this. So in 2022, we reached 3,250 trees and more than it. And the number of the trees in 2024 is 6,400 trees, and I'm pretty sure like the number will be changed in 2025. So related to the SDGs, so SDGs, like Sustainable Development Goals, is something that the world is very proud of, that because it's the only thing that 193 countries gathered, and they signed to at least work for all of those goals. That's something that all of this planet is working for that. So this generation and those people who decided to have SDGs are very proud of this, and we also want to be a part of this global movement. So we try as much as we can to share the awareness related to the SDGs, and also we focus on like uh, six goals which are like more than others. Like we focus on those which are related to our organization. So related to the climate change, we try to train students, and we try to share awareness to students who who don't know what are the SDGs. And I'm pretty sure like after the 2030, there will be new movements which more youth people will be involved, and they will be a part of this international movement. So this is some of our project that focus on this one. So we try as much as we can by our small activities, small impact, let us say, to be a part of this global impact that will be, at least will be useful for our planet. So this is that tree that we started to plant, like it's the more than 7 years actually. But this is the picture that at least we take 7 years ago. And yeah, all of those pictures came after we started first small activity. So I'm pretty sure that the journey will be longer, and there will be new projects, there will be more impact. And yeah, I'm trying as much as I can to be a part of the international movement, so we at least work together, because we feel like we belong everywhere. So thank you for listening, and I'm sorry again because I was not prepared to at least share something special related to this event. But again, thank you, Domenico. Thank you, everyone, to give the opportunity.
So thank you, Akar, and I can say that was not at all an unprepared presentation, but for us it has been amazing. So thank you for sharing, and
My
congratulations
pleasure.
for the work. Akar is doing a fantastic work, and also thank you for one thing in particular. You mentioned the SDGs, that, as you said, is a unique momentum where 193 countries gathered together. Never in
Mhm.
history it's happened, and we understand even now how difficult it is to gather such like important consensus over a mission, and we have the mission to pursue them, even though we know that it's difficult and there are challenges, but with the mindset that you transmit to us, to perseverate and to work day by day with schools, with children, we really learn a lot. So thank you very much. There
My
were
pleasure.
some comments, some a very good initiative, good work. I don't know if there are questions for Akar or interaction. I see Priyabrata was like commenting. I don't know if Priyabrata would want to say something to Akar.
Yeah, thank you, Domenico. I have a question to Akkar that how you monitoring the plant after plantation program is over, and 3 and 4 years after planting the 3 and 4 years, how you monitoring the each and every
Mhm.
plants?
So
And number one and number two is how you engaged more student, because you told that in at primary section, you have a little bit of students, they are not properly engaged. So what will be your future path that more and more students will be engaged in with your program?
thank you, Jer, for the questions. So about the monitoring, like we try to plant trees that we know before we plant the tree. There's a process that we make sure that those people who we will give the tree, or who we will plant for, that they will take care of that tree. So we take the location, we take the number of that person, and like 6 months, like we have two process in year, like each each 3 months and 6 months, we go, we check that the people who planted, like we have a staff, like who are doing the evaluation, who are doing the evaluation, like they go by their names, and we go to those communities which we planted, like we go by a group, and each day we go, like let us say the last year we were each day we were going to 200 houses which we planted the tree, and we were looking that the tree, if the tree is alive. And this is how the process is going, like right now. And we have another like we have tools, like we know, we take their numbers, and we have a group, and we check if the people who we planted for them, who we gave them trees, how, like especially in summer, how they are dealing with that tree, how they are dealing with protecting that tree. So this is how the process is going, and we try as much as we can to do some, we have a partner, War TV, if you saw it, like we do programs with them, especially during the summertime, and during the time that the weather is very hot, let us say. We every year do this, and we try as much as we can next years to add more TV channels, which they easily and go to each houses, or let us say to go to the community. And we use platforms, online platforms. So we try as much as we can to use what we have in hands right now. And about the students, we try as much as we can communicate and to collaborate with the authorities, and we try to be a part of the education system, because we take the permission from authorities, and they give us a special time in the school, and we have seminars. Let us say there are big halls in all of the schools. Sometimes we go to those halls, we gather, let us say, 200 students in the same hall, and we have seminars for them. And some of our activities, we go to the, let us say, small classes, which have 30 students, or let us say 25 students. And this is how we reach more students. And we focus on the, let us say, younger age, because they are easier than others. And the others, we focus on the platforms that we have. We make videos, we try to at least use some different techniques with them, which have, let us say, aged with 14, 16. They at least have some knowledge about the environment. And in Yagda, like, we focus on the youngers right now, but for others, we have different other techniques.
Thank you very much. Nora.
Yes, I'm sorry. Hello. Thank you. Very nice presentation, actually, and you do a great
Thank
job.
you.
Yes, and wow, so many things to say, but Domenico, you were, of course, present when I had my presentation, and I said how nice it is when one thing can inspire a person, and just Hakar, you said you planted a tree, and this is what inspired you, right?
Exactly.
That's amazing. I love this
Exactly.
so much. Hi, Joanne. Joan, I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, so yeah, this is amazing. And yeah, how much is to plant a tree in Kurdistan? Like maybe $1, $2, $3? I don't know what are the prices. Do you
Y-
know? Like, I mean, you know.
Yeah, it depends. It depends of the type of the tree and the age of it. So yeah, $2 like is enough for one tree, like right now nowadays. And it depends, like, if the age of that tree is 1 year, $1 is enough.
Mm-hmm.
If we buy from government, it will be cheaper, and if it is private sector, it is more expensive. But right now, like, if we buy one tree from the government, and 1 year will be $1 and $1.50. The prices will be like this. And other expenses, like transportations, and sometimes paying for the employees who are breaking the concrete. It's another, let us say, expenses. But for the, like, buying the tree, yeah, there are different prices, and it depends on the type of that tree and also the age of that.
Awesome, thank you. And now I want to say something. I also worked a little bit with schools, not as much as I wanted, but I also gave gifts to children, environmental friendly objects. So I would happily share a formula. I'm gonna put the email in the chat if somebody wants to hear about it. One of the things that I am obsessed with are foldable tote bags. They
Mm-hmm.
are very light and they open. They are reusable bags, right?
Oh,
Okay, so that's how it looks when it's open, and children can attach it. I have it attached to my tote bag, but they can attach it to their school bags, basically, and
well.
that's how they get used to these like plastic bags, single-use bags, and also it's a good um commercial. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, for the object. People are like, "Oh, what is that hanging on your bag?" And that's a way to introduce a new environmental friendly
That is
object.
fantastic. During the presentation, because that presentation was like a very old one, uh, like, I didn't mention that we were sharing the reusable bags as well, like fiber bags, especially in our Future Flowers Festival. like in each school we were giving them some of the let us say pencils, books, notebooks, and also with that fiber bags.
But did you give regular tote bags or foldable bags?
Not that one,
This is a
but
string.
yes, the fiber one.
Okay, no, I understand, but not you cannot pack it like this. No, it just
Exactly.
you can. You
No,
can.
no,
No. Okay,
no.
okay. So
This is
this
very
I
new for me. Yeah.
yes, that's why I only share them with people. I'm very excited. This is the cure to disposable plastic bags because you always have it on you. You never forget it at home. It's very light. It's like 5-10 grams. It's
Wow.
really the best thing ever. I love them so much. So I would gladly share a formula because it's a formula also how to look for sponsorships around the school. So how to tell the principal how they can independently do this by themselves, you know.
Hmm.
It's an easy
That's
formula.
amazing. I will appreciate to I mean to contact you actually,
Yeah, I
and
will
then
put my email and yeah,
are
also
you in the WhatsApp group? Like,
Oh, I didn't join it. I
so,
will join it actually. I think Domenico sent a link, right? Yes, I will join it. And oh yes, thank you. I see Professor Mukherjee. That's how you pronounce, right? He said very nice. I will tell him as well because I mean for anyone.
sorry, I was in the
And
dark right now.
and
I'm okay.
and I also have ideas like okay, Domenico. Oh, and Joan. I'm sorry, was there when I did my presentation about a very easy game for children, students to play in the class. Too, it's a conversation that can inspire them as well. It's about the trash Olympics. Is trash if trash pickups would be an Olympic game, which would be the rules? And there are no wrong answers. It's just a conversation, and even this can inspire them in different ways. And yeah, thank you. So many things to say. Um, thank you again, everyone,
Yeah.
actually, and Domenico for
Thank you
this.
for whatever you are
Yes,
doing.
yeah.
Thank you, guys. I suggest to exchange contact as you already mentioned, and get in touch. It's nice for us if you can get in synergy. So thank you for like interact. I suggest to now to go ahead. As I say, if there are other comments or requests for a car, interact by chat. Now let's go to the next speaker of the session. Dr. Bola Aziru, are you there? Dr. Bola Aziru?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. So thank you very much, Dr. Balaziro, for being with us. Dr. Balaziro is from Nigeria, is also a member of our board of international experts for the Climate Social Forum. And so I give him the floor to introduce himself and also to go with his presentation. Dr. Balaziro, just tell me if you want me to share the screen or you want to share.
You can share it.
Okay, perfect. I go through that. In the meanwhile, if you want, the floor is yours for an introduction.
Okay, yeah. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues. I'm Dr. Bola Ashiru from Nigeria. I am with a social enterprise called African Wealth Initiative. I'm the director of research. And in AWI, what we do is to connect rural farmers, women, youth into agricultural solutions like value additions and market initiatives. And we also build an agro processing hub very close to a farm, very close to a rural area in Ibadan, where we actually do a pilot scale of what we preach. Here we train youth and agripreneurs on different smart agric technologies. And we also engage women in rural area in the area of using biogas for cooking, for frying gari and so on, to prevent them from using wood, which lead to deforestation. Currently, we are working with NGO in UK on what we call 100 cluster. This is a kind of a training program to develop 100 cluster of beekeeping so as to restore biodiversity in some areas in Nigeria. That is a short introduction. Now, let me go to my presentation. Next slide. Actually, I will talk more in the area of academic than practical in this presentation. And I want to talk on what are the technologies that are adopted in Nigeria to actually mitigate or adapt to soil-based climate change. I want to look at what are the smart crops that are used in Nigeria to either prevent or restore degraded soils. Then I want to talk about the policy from federal governments, from our own Nigerian government, to be able, to restore or to actually restore degraded soil. And finally, I would like to talk about some climate smart agricultural technologies existing in Nigeria and climate change and post-harvest management that we actually undertake. Next one. Next slide. Yeah, as we have all been hearing since the beginning of the conference, soil is a foundation for life and climate resilience. Why? Because soil as a vital natural resources support plant growth and food production. It also regulates water and water storage and movement, while cycle essential nutrients. It's also soil. Soil is also a living system which provides physical support for water, air, and nutrients. How does climate change impact on soil? We are aware that the most effective are in the rising temperature, which increase decomposition and affect moisture loss in soil. And even the the rising temperature itself also cause rise in sea levels, which affect living organisms in the sea. Now we look at what are the causes of this again. In terms of rainfall, it causes erosion and loss of fertile topsoil. When there is erosion, most of the fertile soil that can support growth and supply nutrients to plants are eroded away. It also disrupts soil function and ecosystem services. That's generally on soil. We are now going to focus on Nigeria now. Next slide. Next slide, please. Now, I want to talk about what are the impact of climate change on soil in Nigeria. Climate change severely degrades Nigeria's soil through intensified erosion, increased temperature, and erratic rainfall. And this depends on location in Nigeria. Whether you are talking about the northern part of Nigeria, the middle belt, the southern part, the coastal area, the eastern part, and so on. So what happens to each of those regions varies, depends on whether it is temperature or is rainfall. With southern region, is always hit by floods, while the northern is hit by desertification due to excessive heat. And this always leads to low fertility in soil and, of course, loss of biodiversity. It also leads to reduction in agricultural productivity. I don't want to dive into the area of security, what it caused, the fight between the Fulani grazers, the Fulani men and farmers when this drought starts, when the heat is on and there's the whole area needs food. So next slide, please. Yeah. Now let's look broadly on what happened regionally. In each of the regions, like North, we have extreme heat, extreme drought, and that leads to desertification and wind erosion in the northern part of Nigeria. In the southeast part of Nigeria, we have intense rainfall, which always results in gully erosion and topsoil loss. If you go to eastern part of Nigerian line, now like Anambra, Enugu, Igbo State, and so on, you will see a lot of very ugly gully erosion, and that prevents them from actually use the land for planting any crop. When you go to southwest, you usually have flooding and heat waves, which erode, which lead to nutrient leaching, as well as lots of microbes that support soil in plant growth or support plant health. Then in the coastal south, we have sea level rise that end up in salinization in the coastal south area, because there's a lot of intense heat that cause rise in temperature, which make the sea level to rise. Now we have the next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah. Well, I want to talk about what are the strategies that is used in Nigeria to mitigate against this climate change as it affects soil, and what adaptation strategy. On the mitigation, farmers embark on what we call conservation tillage. In Nigeria, like any other African country, we use our farmer engage in subsistence farming. So in most cases, we do not use mechanized farming. But in nowadays, people use a lot of bush burning, and there are a lot of forests that have been reduced into that have been what do I call it? A lot of forest has been lost to arable farming. So in this case now, we are now asking our farmers to do what we call conservation tillage or no-till village. That is to say, we don't burn anything. Just clear your bush, let it rot, and make it available for the soil to nurture. Then we embark on what we call agroforestry. There's a strong advocacy for agroforestry in Nigeria now, so that we'll be able to restore our land. And you know that planting trees like cashew, like mango, maybe to line up your farm or at intervals, provides a kind of foliage that actually cover the soil and prevent heat stress. And this also conserve moisture in the soil. And at the end of the day, once they get rotting, they decompose and form and become mixed with soil as a manure. Now we have what we call organic amendment. The use of organic manure, the use of biofertilizer, and the use of biochar is now gaining ground in Nigeria. Then cover cropping as well is another method that is being used to be able to prevent direct heat contact with soil and prevent loss of nutrient and loss of water. Next, please. Next. Nature-based adaptation strategy. I want to look at this in form of a table. Look at the strategy, the climate benefit, and of course the regional priority in each part of the country. Mulching, this is reduce evaporation and keep soil cooling during heat wave. These are the methods that we use to be able to adapt to climate change in Nigeria. In other Nigeria, this practice is being done to be able to reduce the heat waves. Then we have what we call festival grass buffers. This is found in the southern Nigeria, especially the rain forest or coastal area. It's a grass that has its root deeply stabilized in soil, and it usually prevents gully erosion from flash floods. Then we have what we call shelter belts. These are rows of trees that act as a windbreak to prevent topsoil loss from wind erosion. This is found in northern part of the country like Borno, Sokoto, and Katsina. Then we have what we call contour building. This is building soil ridges along slope to slow down runoff and increase water infiltration. You discover that we have some areas in the country where we have hills, where we have slopes and so on, as it's commonly found in the central and eastern part of the country. We have all these islands, and these people need to plant crops. So what they resort to is using what we call contour bonding. The bull ridge across across the slopes to prevent erosion and thereby stop this water along the line to allow it to retain and sink into the soil to provide moisture for the plant and prevent it from washing away the soil nutrients. Next, please. Next slide. Now, the next I want to talk about is the climate smart crop used in Nigeria to restore degraded soil. Let us assume the soil is already degraded. What are the remedies? The common one that is done all over the country, all over the region, is the planting of mokuda, which is called biological nitrogen fixing factory. Mokuda is as old as in Nigeria and Africa. Mokuda is as old as anything. So this mokuda fixes between 60 and 150 kg of nitrogen per hectare in the soil. You see that it's a very good source of nitrogen, apart from all these synthetic fertilizers. So now next, please. Now this time around, I want to talk about what happened in each region now. How do they restore degraded soil using smart crops? In the North Sahel or Sudan Savannah, the crop commonly planted for this purpose is pear millet and so on. It has deep and grainy root system that holds sandy soil together and can survive with minimal rainfall. We have Bambara nut also that is drought resistant crop, which produce spots underground that protect them from extreme surfacing. These are food material as well. And we have neem and baobab trees, which is often used as a shelter belt to stop wind erosion and act as a windbreak for smaller food crops in the northern part of the country. When you move towards north, you see a lot of baobab trees, which have a lot of benefits in terms of medicine, in terms of food, and so on. We also have neem that have a lot of uses, beneficial uses in terms of medicine. Next slide. So in the middle belt and south, where we have rainforest and we have derived savanna. Derived savanna means that already, because of the climate change, savanna region is moving downwards towards south as well. So we plant soya bean and cowpea, and this is used in rotation with maize. We all know that maize usually eats nutrients in the soil. When you now rotate it with soya bean or cowpea, these two replenish the nitrogen that is already taken by the maize in the soil. Now we have pigeon pea, which is a perennial legume that can live for several years. It has tap roots that break up compacted soil outfalls, allowing water to reach deeper layers in the soil. Then we have cassava. We all know cassava and hear about cassava in the whole world. The cassava, as we see, is a drought-resistant crop that can be planted throughout the year. You can use stagger planting. You can do scheduling planting. It withstands droughts, and at the same time, it forms canopies that actually protect soil from its stress. Next slide. Yeah, in the coastal south, we are talking about Niger Delta area and in Lagos. We have date palm, which is known for being highly salt tolerant, and it can be used to reclaim land where seawater has intruded. We also have coconut alongside in those areas and that thrive. Now we have a new rice variety which is called Faro. This is especially the Faro 44, 66, and 67 show a significant tolerance or moderate tolerance to salt stress, and this helps farmers in silent swampy areas to be able to maintain productivity and increase the rice production. Next slide, please. Next slide. Now, that is all about the crop the smart crop that we use in Nigeria. Now, I want to talk about the Nigerian climate smart soil policy. The policy by federal government on soil. First one is Nigerian Farmer Soil Health Scheme. This focus on science-based soil management, moving away from blanket fertilizer use towards tailored recommendation based on digital soil testing and mapping. What the government has done is to establish a soil testing laboratory in almost all parts of. In fact, it was proposed that it has to be in all the 774 local governments in Nigeria. What does this mean? Is that if farmers will have access to test their soil, to be able to know the type of fertilizer to apply, the amount of fertilizer to apply, the area of blanket applying of fertilizer in the soil in excess is gone. This is target, because when you map out an area and do a soil test, you will see that there's an area that already rich that need no fertilizer, but there's some area that may need fertilizer. Only those areas will be concentrated to apply fertilizer. That is the aim of that policy. Another one is on Nigerian Soil Information System and Digital Agriculture. Nigeria is building a national soil data platform to centralize soil profile, fertility data, and management recommendation. This is overall data bank that will, okay, I want to establish a farm in Ogun State. This is a database you can actually contact. It will tell you areas, I mean, the type of crop you can plant in certain area, and what are the inputs you need, and then what are the farming practices that you can engage on. Then we have digital precision extension service that are planned to disseminate real-time climate smart farming guidance, like best practices, pest alert, weather information, whether there's going to be flood, whether you are expecting a pest infestation, or whether we are expecting drought in the next 1 month. So farmer can prepare adequately how to mitigate against such condition. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah, presidential executive order banning the export of wood and allied products nationwide to combat illegal logging and deforestation. This is a new order that just been a new executive order in December 2025. This is to ensure environmental sustainability, provision of clean air and water, supporting livelihood, conserving biodiversity, and mitigating the effect of climate change. We all know what the effect of deforestation. For some years, there's a lot of illegal logging in Nigeria. It's a common sight to see truckloads of logs going to coastal areas to be ferried to foreign countries. And this affects our farmers seriously. So this executive order was enacted to ensure that this is not happening again. The next one is National Cultural Technology Innovation Policy. Nothing. It mainstream climate action into agriculture and food security across sectors in alignment with Nairobi Declaration of Fertilizer and Soil Health. What we are saying here is that the federal government is trying to encourage the use of biofertilizer, the reduction in use of chemical fertilizers because of the dangerous effect on soil health. So this particular policy aimed at improving the soil health in Nigeria. Next one, please. Next slide. Now, I want to talk about briefly some climate smart agricultural technology in Nigeria. We have water efficient irrigation techniques, and that is the use of use of drip irrigation. Most farmers are using drip irrigation now, especially in greenhouses. They're using drip irrigation to be able to ensure that exact amount of water that is needed by soil is injected into the root part of the plant. There is also what we call the people are now using most farms, especially the bigger farms, are using sensors. They're using sensors in the farm to ensure that You only irrigate when water is actually needed. Not that you already schedule irrigation. In the olden days, you say, okay, at 6 p.m., every 6 p.m., you must irrigate. That's the usual practice in the past. But now you irrigate when it is needed. When the soil water is depleted, irrigation is done using sensors. And this sensor will trigger some mechanism that will pump water into the needed area, either through drip irrigation or sprinklers. Then we have what we call digital climate information and digital tools, like the use of GPS, the use of surveillance, satellites, and so on. Then we have modern agri-tech tools. This is very, very common in Nigeria now. We have what we call the greenhouses. We have drones for surveillance, either for security, for irrigation, for fertilizer application, and other uses. We have what we call vertical farming. We have hydroponics and aquaponics, and so on. Then we have renewable energy and post-harvest technology. What we mean by that is that Nigeria is moving towards using renewable energy to replace fossil fuel. Where we are using diesel generator and so on, we are now adapting solar energy and biogas. Some big farms are employing the use of combined power and heat machines to be able to reduce the effect of greenhouse gas. So in most of our post-harvest technology, even in the use of production of the farm, instead of using fossil fuel generator to pump, they use solar pump for irrigations and so on. Then we have what we call the digital marketing and advice round. These are platforms that are created by private enterprise to be able to engage farmers, that to show farmers where they can plant, where they can sell their product, and then under this platform, you can see where you can get finances, and so a lot of information, and you can sell your product. You can see how you can source farm services as well. So those are platforms that are already in Nigeria for use by rural farmers and corporate farmers. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah, climate change and post-harvest management. Yeah, in this one, I was able to portray, I was trying to portray what causes climate change, effect on our product, and of course, how to mitigate. For example, we have what we call heat stress. We have sorry about that. I'm trying to see it. It's so tiny. We have rising temperatures. We have erratic rainfall and humidity. We have extreme weather events and increased pests and disease. And look at our product. There's a lot of post-harvest losses based on this climate change impact. Now, how do we mitigate? In the dry part of something, we use what we call improved storage, like silos with humidifiers. We use a hermetic storage system, storage bags. Then for moisture control, we use solar dryer, tent dryer. We use some other dryers that are driven by renewable energy. And pest management, we use integrated pest management system, like maybe using biological method and so on. Then under better infrastructure, there are what we call code ops that help in transporting fresh products like tomato and so fresh fruits and vegetables from farm to supermarket and other markets where they are effectively used without being destroyed. There are other sorts of there are other ways that we mitigate, like all these. There are different types of drying systems that we use, and there are a different type of value addition that we usually do into some of these crops to ensure that they are stable and are not lost due to climate change. Next slide. Yeah. Final takeaways. Soil is a foundation for life and climate resilient because it supports land and food production. Climate change adaptation build resilient farming system through healthy soil. And of course, healthy soil are powerful climate solution. They capture carbon, reduce emission, and increase farm productivity, and at the same time. Climate smart agriculture technologies and practices being used or promoted in Nigeria to help farmers adapt to climate change, increase productivity, and improve sustainability. Climate change increases post-harvest losses mainly through heat, humidity, pests, and extreme weather. Adopting climate smart storage, dry, transport, and pest management strategy can significantly reduce losses and improve food security, especially for smallholder farmers. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bolaziru. Congratulations. We have really an extensive overall dissertation about the impact on of soil, on climate, on soil, and on agriculture, and also how to implement climate smart practices, digital practices, and so on. Was very informative. I learned a lot. I don't know if there are some questions for Dr. Bolaziru.
I for sure have a question.
Yeah, please.
Dr. Bo, thank you for your presentation. When I was listening to your presentation, I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what we've done and we're doing. So just, I don't know if you know what I do, but we ran a Victory Garden for 17 years. Actually, it was 12 officially. I have to say that because we just did gardening for the first 5 years. And the request, it was a demonstration and teaching, it evolved into a demonstration and teaching garden. And then people said, oh, why don't you do education? So that's what we're doing right now. But my particular focus is not just on climate smart agriculture. It's about food and nutrition and cooking and entrepreneurship and all of that. Domenico and I are initiating an introduction to climate smart agriculture in this month or next month. My gosh, it's almost ended. And so your presentation is very applicable to what we're doing. And so I'm looking at it and going, oh my God, those are my slides. I love those. Could you tell me, in terms of not just the gardening, but the entrepreneurship side of it, because the ultimate goal for us to teach people and to certify them is for them to earn a living. What has been the I'm going to say profit side of it for the entrepreneurship portion?
Yeah, thank you very much, Shima. You see, in Nigeria, like I said earlier, we have a lot of people that are doing smart agriculture in Nigeria. It's almost everywhere in Nigeria because we hardly, especially with the problem we have in the north, where the mud is more stable, farmers are already out of farm, and we have tomato, pepper, all of them. All of these are already very scarce. So in the southern part of the country where we are a good stable, we have a lot of hydroponics. We have a lot of vertical farming. We have a lot of greenhouses that are, in fact, there's a particular brother of mine that I helped to establish a 4-hectare greenhouse farming for tomato about 3 years ago. 4 hectares. We have a lot of greenhouses that was brought in and is producing more than enough tomato in that place. So there is a lot of things going on a corporate level, not on a subsistence level. But what we are trying to do, like the AWI that I am now with, what we are talking about, we are trying to do is to now move in to teach young graduates in terms of agripreneurs. We want to treat them in agribusiness so that they will not run away, because all this smart agriculture are very suitable for this our young graduates. They don't want to do the hard labor that we do in this farming those days.
So,
away from the...
Yeah. So, but what I was asking, so you want to train them, but I thought that there was already an implementation of entrepreneurship.
Yes. Yeah.
I just wondered if the reason I'm asking is because that's where we want to take people when we for the farming. I'm creating a digital marketplace, global marketplace, and so that people who are growing climate smart products or are making products from the surplus, because we want them to feed themselves first, that there's a digital marketplace that they can sell their wares.
Yes.
So more that's the food side of it. We're the foundation for building sustainable communities. So we actually look at the whole ecosystem of sustainability. So anybody that's doing cottage gardens or even making things. But I just wondered about the entrepreneurship. I've run a garden and a market garden, and so you can make money. But I'm in Canada.
AWI is focused on our AWI is a social enterprise that is focused on that. We will have a website that we place all these farmer products for digital marketing.
Yeah. Well, can you and I talk about the course that we're developing? And I really have a lot, maybe too much. That's part of the problem. Too much curriculum to go through, and that's part of the problem.
But
what do you?
lot is good.
Yeah, it is. But when you're teaching, and I've never done online teaching in terms of what we're doing, Dominico and I, I've always done face-to-face, and it's so much easier to do face-to-face than it is face.
Online teaching is good. It's the best.
Yes, it is. It is. But
best.
so if I could have your contact information, and Dominico will get the slides, is that right?
Yeah, we're gonna share after today. We are gonna share with everyone that participated and subscribed to the Climate Action Forum 25 a link to the folder where we will put all the slides. Also, I invite, if you agree, to the speakers that share some slide to send us. I will share into the chat the mail that actually is the mail of the Climate Action Forum. In order to share the slide with the participant.
Right. I just want to say that our digital marketplace is taking a little bit longer than we had anticipated for various reasons. But one of the reasons is I'm working with big Rotary and IEEE to bring in them to develop the marketplace so that it's a much larger group, and also bringing the clients to purchase. So.
Yeah, I come in also in the discussion. If, as we did with other projects, we did, for example, with Dennis and so on, one of the mission of Climate Social Forum is also provide to our members support in terms of platforms and so on. So if at a certain point do you think that you need some support, or at least for digital platform, we can provide also some of that.
Good, because these big organizations are fantastic, but they move very slowly.
Yeah.
has been my problem for the last 2 years, so, but they're great. I mean, I'm just saying that you just need to get going. Anyway, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I can see somebody saying my voice is not up. It's not loud. I'm sorry, I have cold and catarrh. That may affect my voice a little bit.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Balaziro, for making it, and we really wish you a good recovery. So thank you very much for being with us. I don't know if there are other interaction with Dr. Balaziro, even though let's go to the next speaker. That is, let's see if I saw that, Michael Kakule. Hello, Michael. Are you there?
Yes, hello, dear leader, and hello, everyone.
So thank you for being with us, and thank you for joining. So I'll leave you the floor for introduce yourself. Also with Michael. Michael participated at first on one of initiatives that is called Agri Hackathon that we organize every year. Then also he participated to the Climate Social Forum meeting, and recently he presented a great idea that I asked him to share today. So the floor is yours, Michael, to introduce yourself and to share your initiative.
Okay, thank you, dear leader, and I'm very grateful to all colleagues and partner and all friends of the Climate Social Forum. And we are really very happy to be part of this wonderful platform. And we would like to welcome everyone for this final day of this wonderful session. In just a few moments, I will begin maybe to introduce myself as you have said, and due the network, I'm afraid so that once I may just open up my camera, the network is just somehow disappointing. So my apology on this aspect. And due this instability, I'm just Kakule Butapu Michael. I'm the founder and the chief executive officer at Academia Group, which is a youth-led organization working to support and to empower young people through different activities, beekeeping and agroforestry, apart from community works. That's why today, this afternoon, it's a pleasure to join this session, and we are delighted to welcome all of you to join this last thematic, which it brings all people and more especially young leaders and civil society and different sectors to try to see how we can address the most critical and often offload the foundation of the climate change, which is just the soil. So today's focus, which is just soil innovation, which is just which it deals about digital tools and police intervention under different uh, topics. So today, which is was just no soul, no police, and no climate solution, no, which it brings innovation and governance. So this second session will bring just the powerful truth which will facilitate us to understand how health is the soil and how can we supply costs as the former speaker have already said, no soil, no food security, and no climate resilience, and no sustainable livelihood, and no life, as we have already realized. So, in the today discussion, we'll explore more, as we have already started with Nigerians, how the digital tools and soil monitor technology, how is it working, and the platform that supports those communities and decision making. That's why we are really very awesome to be part of this, and we would like this presentation to be ended by the call of the soul call to action, so that we may just move from the theory to do something great. So this moment will allow us to bring all of us and all messages to the forum and to make a roadmap for the post session, which it will facilitate us to advocacy with partner and everyone. So really, we would like to say we are just there to share as our panelists, our colleagues from Nigeria and others have already mentioned the just what is going on in their region. I'll be brief as possible so that we may just know what is it going on in a DRC and more especially in our zone where I'm just living at the moment. So I don't know if am I audible or exactly we've just if, am I? Are you hearing me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Oh, that's why. Because
Yes,
I've
we are
been
hearing you
wondering.
now.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Oh, really, as you know, the network is just making things worse all the time, and that's why we are just somehow unstable. And as hopefully, as longer you are just getting what we are saying, and now we are pleased to welcome you, all of you. So, as we said, the last for the last topic, which is just dedicated to soil innovation, digital tools, and policy intervention. As I've said already, we have to already to remind what the colleague have already said. why the soil matters. Is it useful for climate justice? We have realized that the soil is the living commons, as the yesterday even panelists have been reminding that I appreciate when they were saying that it's just the garden of living classrooms. So it was very powerful and inspiring. And I have realized that it's a fundamental foundation of the food system and livelihood, and just to facilitate the major carbon sink and climate regulator, and more especially to maybe essential for peace and social stability. So, in general, in global level, and more especially in Africa, we have realized that soil degradation accelerates climate impacts, and with this, the weak, once the soil is just not protected, they maybe just the lack of the soil governance frameworks and marginalization of local and indigenous communities, and youth unemployment and land pressure. It's one of the contexts which we are facing, and more especially in the east side of DRC, where I am, we are just confronting the conflicts affect the ecosystem and land degradation and deforestation, and more especially youth and women excluded from the land-based economy. And that's at the last point. And now we are just needing to be strong local innovation potential. So about this, for the vision which we are just looking for, as we have already said earlier, that the soil is our common. So we have realized that the soil protection is the public goods, and everyone is just uh, welcome to support and to do something. And we have realized that this soil it deserves inclusiveness, a governance system which it can facilitate everyone to try to see how we can do things. And we have realized that this soil, as we have already mentioned here earlier, that in the east side of DRC where I am, the conflicts affect the ecosystem. It limits this community-led state worship, and more especially the international responsibilities. So for the digital tools, as the colleague have already mentioned, we are no longer coming back to those topics. We have already realized that community soul mapping is one of just the soul, just like as we can use mobile data collection, the soul monitoring technologies, and the data evidence based the police. So we have realized that the innovation must serve the community for different levels. So for this aspect, we have realized that technology adapted to the local realities. It can facilitate, such as in our zone, we are very well positioned. We can just face the irrigation system like Nigerian colleagues are just facing, as we are just close to the equator, where it rains every year, and then it means that we are in need of capacity building and digital literacy, so that we may just get access and just to protect better our soil, which is just now degraded, which have been just facing those the situation I've been talking about. And the second point, we have been saying that for the region, we are no longer accessing to different technologies, because we have realized that there are costs which it can be required. That's why community or ownership of data, which it can facilitate things to be done. So it means that we have realized that innovations must serve first of all the community before just being like for individuals. At the following points, we have realized that women and youth as change makers, we have already made sure that once we could emphasize with green entrepreneurship as what we are doing actually in the region for the organization I'm leading, and the apiculture, just beekeeping and agroforestry, it's just a new approach in our zone, so that we may try to see how we can make just youth and women for on the center of the soil protection. And we have realized that this domain, it can facilitate all of us to get jobs for young people and to develop more skills as it's needed in our region, and more especially the leadership and the peace building as it is required. For innovation police, we have already realized that branching some pilots and public policies, it could be very useful, so that we may make sure that integrating community data into national frameworks, they could facilitate our communities to be part of decision making, and just to invite a public and private partnership, so that all of us and everyone's voice might be heard. So we have already mentioned that as what we are doing through the academia group DRC. We have realized that sustainable beekeeping, it can be one of a good approach which it can facilitate all of us, so that we may just teach by action, and more especially agroforestry, when we have just to plant mellifera trees, and just to see how we can boost even reforestation, and more especially by creating youth-led cooperatives. I think uh, different activities. So that's why we are just managing a community radio for awareness, which is called the Youth Voice Radio from Masreka, where different program to welcome or to sensitize our community to come close to conservation, and more especially for different and the topics rely on conservation and development. So we have already mentioned that we have to make sure that partnerships with institutions and donors may be welcome, so that we may boost what we are doing, and to try to see how the finance approaches may be developed better, and to see how the monitoring and just learning programs may be just invited. At last, would like to call to action by this, so that we may make sure that they have to recognize soil and climate policy, and just to invest in community solutions, and supporting youth and indigenous leadership, and more especially to align innovation with governance. So we have already realized that the soil, we have to make sure that share the policy declaration and different tools, the roadmap, and the cross sectors collaboration, and whatever they have to be just make sure that we have already live out from theory to act. We have to make sure that we have already realized that soil is life, and the innovation needs governance, and communities are the solution, and the time for nowadays is just for us to act. So we are not supposed to wait again tomorrow. So it's time for us to act, as long as the soul it have already been our common our common home, as a common land, and everything which we are doing, because the way we are protecting the soil nowadays is just the way tomorrow's life and our biodiversity will be just living. That's why at last we would like to invite so that we may amplify different education, environment education in different schools, so that even children may be aware about those different approaches at the young age. Once they are just aware about how they have to protect the soil, to protect nature, to protect our biodiversity, they are going to be the key. Just they are going to be the good protect the nature protector in life better than everyone. So we welcome all your question and we are grateful to be a part of this wonderful platform. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Michael, and thank you for sharing your initiative and experience. So if there are questions or interaction for Michael, maybe Michael, you can share also your contact into the chat. I don't know.
Okay. Yes, as just we have said, and everything which I have been just saying, they are just on our website. Thank you for reminding me. So anyone can just go on our page, on our website, just to visit, and more especially on our YouTube channel, so that they may access to our on-ground activities as well as possible. So really, we are very happy to be part of this.
Yes, and Michael, I'll also will invite you to the. We are organizing the next Agri Hackathon. You already participated as participant. Maybe you can join us as expert or as a jury member or as one of the mentors and so on. So please let's continue to collaborate. Okay, so thank you very much. I don't know if there are questions.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah, please.
Or just a comment. Hi, Michael. Thank you for your presentation. You brought up the issue of governance.
Yes.
So this is I live in Canada, so I have to be careful to do advocacy work. What are your thoughts on getting the word out, the awareness out of how important it is for healthy soil? Because what we're finding is that soil is just like it's there, it's free, and to have actions around healthy soil seems like you're coming from left field. You know what I mean? So what are your thoughts about how you can engage either organizations or governments, maybe in your country? Have you done anything regarding that? And if you have, has it been successful?
Yes, yeah. So it's a good just question, and you have to make sure that this approach is just somehow like a new approach, and that's why we are facing different the activities where we are facing just soil pollution. Even in my town, we have seen that waste management is somehow very big problem, and everything it is still very bad. That's why, and this it remains the new approach. It requires more capacity building, so that we may empower more organization, so that once we are just in this collective fight, we to empower and just to make sure that even our voice is heard in national levels until the global level. So really, it's very important to join us, so that we may protect this. Because as once the soil which we have been talking about, the waste management is just there is no policy for waste management, and this it shows that how huge the soil pollution is very high. That's why once we are just talking on those different topics, it's just a new approach which it requires more skills and more people and more organization to be empowered. because there are more organizations which were just working in GBV, something like violence, something of this, but there are less organizations who are just focusing on about or protection, something like indigenous. So those are just matters of new approaches, and that's why we would like to welcome new ideas and new partners so that we may get involved, may make sure that the voice of those local communities have been heard and have been taken notes. That's why once I've been just saying now, these new approaches might be even integrated in our education systems so that once even a child, those children in the low ages will be aware about how they have to protect our nature. They are going to be the key ambassador. They have to be just the change makers for to protect our nature and more especially than the soil where we are living. So imagine once we are no longer involving everyone, including just leaving anyone behind, we are going to be better than anyone else. So it's better to empower our generation and to make sure that the next generation will just inherit something which is safe and livable.
Yeah, no, that's what we found as well, that it's better to do the projects and show the results, then go and advocate, because politicians, they're, at least in Ontario, Canada, they're very risk averse. Like, I mean, they don't want anything new. You know, you have to come with them, so you have to struggle with all of the impacts and results and then go to them. So, but we do need to get, hey, Domenico, one thing I thought of is that maybe we can go to the UN and ask them to create the year of soil health.
Is a good thing also. I know that is a foundation from an Indian guru. It's called, I don't remember now the name, but Sadhguru, something like that, that is making a great initiative on soil that we can connect, I think. And also, yeah, of course, through also FAO. FAO is doing a lot on soil protection. FAO is also in Italy, so I can also reach them quite easily. We can think about that. If there is like a common intent of the Climate Social Forum member to do something specific on the soil, maybe as a resolution of this Climate Social Forum 25, we can do that also because FAO is constantly doing consultations and so on.
Yeah,
We are
yeah.
member of consultation.
Yeah. Okay. It's one of my list of 100 things to get done.
Yes. But that's good that we are coming with ideas. As I say, the Climate Social Forum is not just a series of talks, but
Yeah.
an interaction. And also, you keep remembering that I have to share the document, the track document. So I don't know if there are other questions for Michael. If no, I also share the website on the chat. Oh yeah, please.
Yeah, regarding soil or soil ecology, whatever it is. Now, as a student of forestry and environment, I can help a lot as per my concern in this platform. Anyone who can contact with me for regarding soil and soil health, etc. So I can serve for this.
Yes, of course. As I say, let's share contact. But I was thinking and hearing also your discussion that maybe as a resolution of the Climate Social Forum, together with our input, we can make a sort of a position paper on soil, as we did for COP30. Of course, it's gonna go to the next year, but we can publish on our website and share in different venue, consultation, and so on. Okay, thank you very much. I don't know if there are like other interaction with Michael. If no, let's go to the next speaker that I saw connected, another good and big friend of the Climate Social Forum, Sinisa Rudan from Serbia. We're talking about innovation, and also the topic of today is digital innovation. And Sinisa is running a great initiative that also presented and we collaborate with in the past years. So thank you very much, Sinisa, for being with us. It's a pleasure to have you back here in this venue. So the floor is yours for presenting your initiative.
Thanks, Domenico, and so great to hear you for the second day for me. Domenico already mentioned, but Climate Social Forum for years with us and several initiatives that I'm going to present as successful use cases for you to be inspired with are collaborated with and co-created with Climate Social Forum. So congrats to Domenico for that and connecting us again. Let me start by sharing my screen and trying to talk a little bit instead of just kind of presenting. Let's walk it through and let me see. But first, let's put some background here. Okay. Let me see if I can share the screen now. Screen. Yeah. So I guess you see my screen now, right?
Perfect.
All these, let's put it here, like this is programming screens, because this is the topic of what we are going to present today. So yeah, well, let's give a peek also. Like I close my programming screens, but some of them are here and so on. So let's share it, of course. So you see this first page of the presentation. Very good. Yeah. So a little bit mouthful title of the topic that I'm going to talk about today. But the presentation is going to be less mouthful, actually a small walkthrough. So I'm being, let's say that I'm being for more than 10 years, something like that, trying to work. It's hard to say, like the lady before, John said, like 100 problems that I'm trying to solve. So I'm not going to use solve the problems, but tackle wicked problems with the teams around the world using my digital background. I'm expert in computer sciences. That's my profession, but playfulness, narrative, building awareness, performance, and so on. These are all the skills that I try to combine to tackle these, let's say, huge problem that we are all facing. That we are talking today about the environment and the soil as being the crucial foundation of all of that. Even the thin areas on the soil, So while tackling all of this, I see a lot of the projects today trying to integrate today's topic, and this is digital technologies. But I never try, even being like with that background precisely. I don't like to say just digital, but like green digital transformation, or what I'm saying, socio-technical tools. So these are the tools that are not just digital, they are for socio-technical transformation or technically supported tools. So these are the tools that are applied on many projects. And I think that I have enough of background to share some success stories that you might apply to your projects of the kind, similar projects, how to make them benefit from this, but also like to avoid some common errors. So there are several terms that people, when they do digital projects or digital transformation, is it regarding the soil or environmental or climate awareness or training or real problem solving on the ground, in the air, and so on. There are a few things that they are applied. Gamification, little bit less of play, but for the awareness. But I will say why it's important, especially in combination with gamification. Then ad tech, and then clean tech. And I will try to present those on several use cases like climate and waste match, ecological, emotional theater, play sustainability, or some of those successful use cases from my portfolio, at least, that I can share some benefits. And then while talking about that, you can contact me later, or maybe ask more. It's just walk through to unlock the ideas for you. But let's start with this. What actually I've just first of all, I'm not sure if I shared the audio. That's important thing. Advanced sharing. Let me see. So I will try two ways, because I'm going to play for you a video. Do you hear this video or not?
No, we cannot hear I think that you have to share with the sound.
Yeah, that I missed to do at the beginning. So I will stop my sharing and then again do it, reshare with the sound. So sorry for that. Let me share sound. Okay. Let me see other options before we do this sharing. Okay. So do you see my screen now?
Yeah.
I guess yes. And sound.
There is nothing wrong with
yes.
Okay. Yeah. So let's start with something gameful, playful. And actually, why it's so important, not just say digital solutions and so on. Like, what I'm having often a problem when I'm working, especially with experts or digital policymakers and so on, or academia, is like, we are solving planet's problem. We are solving the problem that some aliens caused on our planet, and we are the problem solvers. So let's solve it with maybe digital solutions, maybe EdTech, with whatever I'm going to talk about. But actually, it's not like that. How it is like that, actually? Let's hear from George Carlin.
There is nothing wrong with the planet. Nothing wrong with the planet. The planet is fine. The people are fucked. Difference.
Yeah. So I hope you hear you hear that. It's my point is, it's not the planet's problem. It's
Thank you very much for coming in. No worries. There's my resume, skills assessment forms. Like
a little bit more funny videos after that one. Okay. I hope you hear me also now speaking, not just the video. But I will start to that. Even though I'm talking about digital things, the starting point, it's not the planet's problem. It's a social problem. It's not the problem that we are solving. It's the problem that we caused. And now we're trying to retreat the steps that we've made, actually. So in that sense, development is not, it was seen as economical development. We all know about sustainable development, but that's the idea. One side of development is not going to lead us anywhere. So in that sense, I'm going to talk about these topics that I'm talking now about. And in that sense, these terms that I'm talking about are important for whatever we are trying to solve. Is it the problem with the soil, air, water, whatever? Trying to work on people and not just on the soil. So we are working on the soil by working on the people. Soil is not affected by anyone else but by the people. So in that sense, gamification is important because it motivates people for change towards treating the soil, toward treating the agriculture, toward whatever. Then clean tech and green tech, these are the apps. These are the technology. Clean tech or green tech is the technology, how we use technology to address these climate environmental issues and so on. And ed tech is how we use technology to educate on the topics, either of topics of awareness building or solving the problems on the terrain. And let's start with demystifying or unexplaining one of the main tools that people use when they apply digital tools, especially for awareness building. So you have gamification as external motivation vs internal motivation. So a lot of people go for this gamification design elements, and they apply points and badges, they apply leaderboards, they apply some loops there, and so on and so on. And believe me, I've been doing gamification for a lot of years already now, even more than these 10 years that I'm in this field. All of that leads to external motivation. And what is important compared to internal motivation, you will have some people, and I will just turn some example that is from the research, I will just turn that story into environmental story. So it is the true story, but just on another topic. I'll make it on this topic. It happened in a school where there were children that were motivated in preserving the soil, like having like these green labs in the school and so on. And they wanted to make it even more successful. Let's say that it's one of your projects that your participants here want to do and want to improve. So you have, let's say, 30 students, and just 3 of those students, like, let's say, children from 7 to 15 years, something like that are really motivated to do that every day, to do that. And then you say, so guys, whoever plants, let's say, organic carrot or something else in these several days, these several months, let's say he will get some prize. He will get either some money or to buy something or whatever. And then what happens, actually, you have like 10 students doing that. So your motivation, like these kind of points and badges, it's even material motivation, external motivation, did it. You increased. But what happens later? Just, let's say, month later, you remove this external motivation, external prize, and what happens? You lose those 3 students. You will only have 1 student that maybe was just motivated by this prize, and then you will lose him also or her. The point is, when you introduce gamification, it's 2-edged swords as a tool, tech tool, mostly it's tech tool, digital tool applied. It's really important how you do it, because you might change internal motivation that people really want to do it for the soil, not for the badge, not for the prize. You may change it to make it really just for the prize. And that's the real case that happens. So there are many others that we can take about, but that's why, instead of, even though this is important here, progression and levels, this is important, but what I can suggest you when you build projects like this, and what I would advise if we co-build something like that. And by the way, yes, this is kind of the invitation. So I would like to hear experiences, as Climate Social Forum is this place where we collaborate precisely. I would like to collaborate with lots of you on different projects that I heard this year or previous years. So let's say this is my expertise that I can share with you, and then you can see how I can use it in my project. So we can collaborate on that. Just contact me later. You'll see my email. It's to be shared. But let me give you some advice if you do it on your own. So you can apply to something called self-determination theory. And this is the theory that says how you can really increase internal motivation instead of external one, that caused by gamification, playing gamification. And this is if you increase relatedness, if through all of these elements you relate the players, let's call them players or students, or by the way, gamification is applied even to management on other things, like people working on the soil, for example, managers doing all these projects, you motivate them. So it's not just for education, of course, by relatedness. You build more relatedness for them to the topic that is bigger than themselves. People really like to work on the topics that are bigger than themselves. This is the relatedness. And environmental issues are definitely bigger than ourselves. And social as category. Then building competence, that after time you improve yourself into this, and then autonomy, that you have choice A and B, but it's not like easy to choose red or blue. It is meaningful choice. This or that really impacts the further things. So in that sense, progression and levels is important because you build your competence. So let me, from that, rewards and incentives, rewards, yes and no, but incentives like doing some real better project after this, role playing, being, and we talk about that a little bit later, even more relatedness, you're embodying yourself into the role of nature forces or so on, avatars that present your competence building and so on. I will show that later. And teammates, of course, is relatedness. And let's say for the first use case that I would like to, let me see, there was a chat. Let's try to follow the chat in parallel if I can, but if not, somebody, like if there is some important question, somebody can share it with me, like Domenico or whoever. But let me focus on this. So one of the use cases that I would like to share with you, that represents this theory in the practice, is a game called Play Sustainability that my team created. You can see the link here. By the way, today the website that I'm going to share will give you the warning. Just click continue to unsave, because the certificates just today has had to be renewed. So don't worry if there is something like warning there. Just continue, or several days later you will have these links or working nicely. You can do it today, but just with this warning. So you can see it on this link, for example. You can take a screenshot. So this is internationally awarded mobile supported edu game. Just reading here, that actually was happening on site and digitally, in digital way. I will share that the screenshots, some photos to explain that further. And with that game, participants you learn about United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, how to solve real world problems, and how we approach this. We didn't want them to train like, let's see it here. We didn't want them. You see the Sustainable Development Goals here. We didn't want them like to just, you have classical ed tech tool where you just so these are the 5 categories, P, and then you go like to this one, you learn about that, you learn about that. We didn't want to do that. What we actually did, we made them first to learn to choose their 3 SDGs, the key one SDGs that they connect with themselves. They say, I would like to do 3 things in my career to help the world. These are going to be these 3 things, 3 SDGs, and based on that, they choose all of them. Like they've chosen their 3 SDGs, and then we use technology that we built that based on these SDGs created ad hoc the teams of like 50 students, 100 students. We used our tools that really you can use. We are planning just to this on the following month to put it as a free tool available, so you can contact me later for that, for different categories in now our SDGs. And then based on this selection of SDGs, students get by the technology connected into teams that share the same SDGs. So they don't know each other at the beginning of the game. 100 of them just got connected into teams that are sharing the vision on sustainable development. And then when they do that, they have to go through the map like this that you see on the table here and here. These are different instances of the game. They go through the game and they are approached with different problems, and they solve those problems applying some skills. They choose the cards to apply the skills for the problem that they are facing with. And then in the teams they are doing role playing, and this is the role playing that we've seen about the gamification. Some of them is economy, some is environmentalist, some is social experts, culture expert, and these are the 4 pillars of sustainable development that we have. And they're wearing their badges, and they are playing the role of this guy, and so they are forced inside of the team to have this 360 degrees view, how to solve some problem. And when they are solving that, they are learning about sustainable development goals and about how to solve the problems in a way that none of these pillars gets underdeveloped. Economy great, but environment zero, or vice versa. And then we have like some mechanics and metrics that we calculate the team, how it performs through these different four pillars. And the point is that the game got acknowledged by cross-cultural ambassador as cross-cultural ambassador of UNESCO Club at Sorbonne University. Then we got invited to UEO Energy, University of Oslo, and their grant for the Oslo European Green Capital 2019. And then we also organized Climaton Oslo in Norway. And for that, we built the digital version of the game. So people you can see here are playing on the first and the third photo, how they are playing and connecting with the people around the world. So they are competing and collaborating with the people around the world, physically on the space, but connected throughout the world. So we have these digital tools. So the play sustainability is a tool that actually combines both edtech, both clean tech. It's a clean tech that combines edtech and gamification in all of that. But I would like to say, when we talk about gamification, what's even more important, I would say, a wider term than it's a play. You've seen even here, people are performing something, they are playing, they're embodying their vision and the goals of their project. They're building the vision of their project. Even the branding we've done with the people through these methodologies. But the point with the play, why the play is important in awareness building. And awareness building, as I said, it's the top, it's the cause of the problem. We're not trying to solve the issues of the problem, but the causes of the problem. So through the building awareness about the problem and even trying to solve it, we apply play. And why play is important? Because through this play, we can envision, you see here, you can take a screenshot of this, you envision and play out solutions before being able to even rationalize them. So this is how children do. They learn. This is Vygotsky social cultural learning theory that says we learn about something more complex, about playing it out, a head taller. We are being bigger than we are actually through that playing. And that playing unlocks our creativity even in on complex problems, wicked problems, and in academic teams and so on. It unlocks our minds. We can envision the future and so on, and it helps like working with people that are not on the complex topics and so on. Let's keep to this. And this is our friend Mariana Ridge that said, go beyond ourselves through playing, do things without knowing how, relate who we are and who we are becoming in the same way. Okay? So why this paradigm to play through edtech and gamification is important? It builds the space for ad hoc communities, as we just shown in play sustainability, and energizes online space. But more important, builds security, curiosity, innovation, creativity that we don't have if we are like in this way, like we are academics, we are short-sighted, so focused. It's great to be focused, but play helps us unlock. And we apply that even for the scientists like older than 70 years. They were as a children. After that, play formers, I would say, and they were so more open for new ideas. Because if we are like this on the problem, we are solving those problems on our own, individually. Today's problems, wicked problems, complex problems cannot be solved individually. And one of my expertise actually is how to make the teams collaborate, improve collaboration, and build some digital tools, but also methodologies like this one here, to improve that collaboration. That's why I'm saying playing is important. It plays compassion for the others that that try to solve the same problem as us, but also compassion with the soil, with the nature, and so on. And the shared, it creates shared feelings, goals, and so on, call for action. But if we talk about soil, like let's say, let's be the tree that goes from that soil. Let's be the soil. Let's be the river. So in that sense, we played through role playing actually we create innovation through a change of perspectives. So a lot of social problems are solved by change of perspectives. And I'm stating here environmental problems, as in the root being social, are solved by role playing in that sense. I'm just going to share shorts, and then skip to the second most important part. So this is like what we've done as example. Like people were envisioning that there were trees. So they were seeing the trees around in some eco camp. They closed their eyes, and I was reading to them a poem about the tree that was tied in a white bags, plastic bags, really that tied, and then we tied them. In the meantime, while they were closing eyes, they are listening about the issues of the tree, and then when they open their eyes, they see that they are the tree that is locked into these plastic bags, and then they scream how they feel when they feel it there. They scream the feelings of the tree or of the soil and so on. So these are the ways how you can do real playing instead of just gamification in virtual world, but combine those two. And I would like probably conclude because of the lack of the time, but let's keep it for some next session. What we really created, and this was like the topic one of the climate social forums, some previous climate social forums, how we made a real app, clean tech that takes care about waste, about the soil, and about the rivers. You know, when I go to the forest and I see, and I enjoy the forest, I enjoy the riversides and so on, and when I see their plastic bottles there, wow, I'm so frustrated. I guess a lot of you here. So one of the applications that we have built, and actually it was like supported by Climate Social Forum as well, is Waste Match, where we apply all these things that I presented to you. So how it looks like it combined waste with some revenue, external and internal motivation. We combine both. So this is the app Waste Match. So it says start collecting waste and start winning for yourself and for nature. So what you have this digital in clean tech app, you just collect. You collect in your apartment, where the app is for the apartments, and the cities like the 2 million cities like Belgrade in Serbia that don't have waste management systems that are focused on recycling, organic waste, and so on. And not to mention the villages around that where we go and enjoy, where we enjoy in the forest, where we enjoy in these rivers, and then we see in the beautiful nature all these bottles, but actually that are resources. But why they are still, even though they are resources, what's crazy and what made us create this application that I'm presenting to you is that these parts of Serbia, for example, and many other on Balkan and so on, are poor. They would do a lot of things, like I would say just for €1, they would collect all of these things. If they could sell these bottles, plastic bottles, for €1, like they would spend like 15 or 1 hour to collect them. So just try to let it sink in. So they would do that, but what they are not doing that because there is not infrastructure to enable them to sell those recycling materials, this waste. So they just throw it away, and they don't even have regular waste management services just to collect those at all. So they burn it, whatever. So what we are doing, actually, we are connecting them with small collectors, because big institutional collectors of the waste are not interested in that. It is too small for them. So we create the infrastructure, alternative infrastructure, that enables connecting small households in the villages and the cities over connecting with those collectors on the mopeds. Usually these are Roma people that are also very poor, that they do these dirty things just to survive, and dangerous things. So we help those to collect those to connect them to make their work safer and cleaner and more effective, and then they sell those to big buyers and recyclers. So what the household does, it just click, okay, so I'm just going to throw away some garbage here, recycling garbage, so I'm going to select a bag. Is it like pets? I will say I just today I'm going to throw these two bottles into this bag, and it's all every day I just do like something like this. Okay, I choose this, and then today just one. Let's say throw this, and then I do delivering, and I deliver. Let's say this one. I deliver it. I choose on my map where I'm going to deliver it, and I add the place on the map. I add the time slot when I'm going to be there, and then I post this. So this bag is there. And then what I can do then, okay, I can show you like what happens if I'm collector, this poor guy that lives by collecting the waste, and he sees the locations where he is doing his job, and then he adds alert for a new. Okay, so now he has added my place where I, as a household, has provided this bag, and he says, okay, I'm not interested in this. Okay, yes, I'm going to pick up this bag, and when he collected that, and when he delivers that, he can announce a cruise going through the city. But when that happens, okay, so I, as a household, I get congratulations, your bag of the waste has been delivered, your score, your eco impact, your earnings have all increased. And with this, I'm finishing. Sorry, I'm now aware of the time. I did maybe be too much aware. Sorry, Domenico, if I rushed it over the time. We can stop after this, or even during this. So what happens? You increased all of this. So what we see, so this is like subtle motivation for you. So this is your waste print. You see what's your score. This is the print of your waste. This is how much euros you earned. But this is even more important through this, because each bag you sell there, you give to this collector, he gives to recycle, you got the percentage of that. And how much for each of these, it's calculated how much of the CO2 landfill you preserved and CO2 and so on. And then you can see on the city of Belgrade as a community, for example, like if your municipality searching on the bigger scale, how much it is saved of the waste through using this application. So this is like how much it's created, and this small part is how much it's recycled. And as the final thing, we don't. Yeah, we have, of course, there is a leaderboard and so on. But the point is how you train people. You are the challenger solver. So let's say you want to level up your avatar and win big for yourself and for nature. You start the new challenge, and you say, okay, I want to become organic, and there is a first challenge, claim now challenge, and then win. So you choose build a compost place. Okay, you build a compost place, you learn about it, then you claim you did it, then you claim collect your organic waste, then you claim it, and then the next, and so on, and then you build, and as a reward you get some food basket by the socially responsible businesses that collaborate with us, and by this percentage that is collected there, and so on. So this is, I would say, just an example of the app that was created with that applies all of these things. It's created with Climate on Belgrade and Climate Social Forum. Just go through these. You can take screenshots if you want, and I'm just stopping here because we are out of time for this. There's a different games that we created with our teams there that actually an eco-collaborative initiative with Climate Social Forum that we create the digital tool for collaboration on ecological problems. These are some results of the tool and where we applied the parts of the tool around the world. And I will finalize with this emotional theater where we train our ecological intelligence, also emotional intelligence, how we apply this avatar. So this avatar, for example, is not a regular avatar where you would just learn, but you have avatar where you train different kind of the skills. And then when you go through ed tech, you do some skills learning. Actually, you increase yourself in these skills, and you build your avatar through that. So in this case, these are EQ domains, but it can be anything else and so on. How to make your avatars related to the real program. So this is like the gamification that we've built for emotional intelligence and so on. So I would stop there, and thank you for your time, and sorry for I think that I was a little bit too passionate about this. So sorry, Domenico, if I was too long on this.
Was
please
great.
warn me.
And thank you for showing. And I think that for the ones that were thinking that dealing with climate, environmental protection was boring and not innovative, you let them change the idea for sure, because you make such a lot of things. That's amazing. Congratulations for the passion, for the creativity, and for the innovation that you brought. I don't know if there are questions for Sinisa. Curiosity also.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
please.
My own is comment.
Please.
I would just like to let him know that though how beautiful your presentation is, you are too fast. You see, if you pass through all those things so fast that anybody that wants to grab what you are saying has to be very, very, I mean, you need to, so maybe next time you don't need to go through all the technology. Maybe you just pick one or two technology and talk deeply in it so that we understand. And that's why there are a lot of things there that one needs to learn. And I want to know, I want you to drop your website to so that we can go through these things on our own. It's a very good thing, but next time you are doing presentation, make it slow and then just pick one or two so that we don't look as if you want to cover everything. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bola. Yeah, I agree with you, and I don't agree in the same time. Thanks for that, and I'm definitely aware of that. But hopefully there is all this is recorded, so you can slowly rewind through that. That was my goal. And the second goal is this is just the start of the conversation. That is even the final comment actually from my side actually. So you have my email down there. You see the website. Let's say I've just put the cards on the table. Like I think in 20 minutes I cannot do even more. If there is interest, like we done in the past, we can have even accelerator to go through these things for hours, and we did that with Domenico, and people learned that. So I would say it's a great invitation for doing it in a proper way, definitely, and then maybe choose something. But please not take your more time. But I agree with you. But this is an offer.
Thank you. Yeah, John, please.
Yeah, sorry. I just want to say that it's very difficult when you have so much to say and you only have so many minutes to say it, and you're like, okay, what do I want the audience to know? And then your excitement takes over, right? And then you become boring because you're trying to fit into the category. It's one of those things. But I'm a real fan of making things fun, especially in complicated issues such as climate. Because I think that most people can see that the climate is changing. They're not quite sure what it is that they can do about it. And so playing a game to make that awareness and to make it fun and to create the understanding of not what it is, but not just about what it is, but what they can do as well. So I think that many young people especially are into games. And this is a great way to encourage them to learn about sustainability and climate change and things like that. As long as that there is an action later and there's interaction with groups that are doing something. So I think that's probably what I would say, that lead them through it, teach them, but then they have to do something about what it is that they learn.
Yeah, definitely. And also, like to connect with that, you said playfulness, but yesterday we talked about it. I think that you, Joan, told it yesterday, like about climate anxiety. So this is another counterbalance for this anxiety, like how we playfully approach this anxiety about the climate or about the generation of soil and so on. So that's why the play is also important. I would just like to add that comment I didn't have in the presentation here.
Yeah. No, but it was very good because, like I said, it's you always want to say so much and you only have so little time. So it's
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I think that Sinisa wanted to bring a lot of suggestion and things on the table.
yeah.
And also, Sinisa, if you agree, maybe we are sharing the contacts, the website and the presentation if you want. And
Yeah,
also,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sharing now in chat the link to YouTube where there is the recording. So, yeah.
Yeah, I will share also, yes, the
And
contact and so on.
yeah, and I just want to say, Domenico, like there's so many amazing suggestions of solutions, and maybe that's what we need to do, is do a strategy plan on how we can bring these to life. Because I'm so excited with all the things that everybody's doing. So
Yeah. That's the beautiful thing on of the Climate Social Forum, that is a crossroad of like-minded and super creative people. That's what I say when we hear, no, that taking care about the environment, taking care about climate is just to going back to the Stone Age, as some people say, that they didn't understand at all
yeah,
what's
yeah.
running, because it's an evolution, not a going back to the Stone Age. The Stone Age are the fossil guys. Let's see. Okay.
But
I'd like
I
to-
have to congratulate. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I have to actually to congratulate on that to Domenico, because it's
With
part
all
of the
team,
answer.
we are just
All the team, all the team. Actually, I would say, let's say Climate Social Forum, more precisely, to be more correct, because what you just said, Joan, like so many things are there, and you told the second thing is like there is like a burst of action, and there is not later like to continuation of that.
Yes.
So those two things, like I think that Domenico and his team are doing great, that I didn't see so much on other platforms. That there is a big event that happens once in a year or something like that, and they're like, there's a very continuous, and doing like each month and so you connect the people, you gather what is the more important topics, and then through the year until the next CSF you work on those topics, and then you make some smaller teams, and then they make the policy, and the smaller teams that work on those. This is the way, like, to succeed. And then I would just add on top of that, there's always need for money. Then during that you make some grant maybe together to apply these organization. This is also called for my sides. I did a lot of things as pro bono. I guess a lot of us, because of the nature, because of the society. And then I think that with Climaton and some other, like with displaced sustainability, we really got funding to make it on the next level. If there was no funding, we could not do the digital development of the real digital game and so on. And then collaboration with others, we could not make the Climaton through all the year, like Domenico is doing with CSF, if we didn't get this grant. And we would not get those if there were not people and other organizations that we collaborated with. So this is the call for, put what you have, and maybe we can make something together and apply together for different grants.
The other thing I wanted to say that you brought up, which I think is a really, really important thing, that as a key message in terms of climate change, is that we're the ones that made it happen, the human beings. And now we're trying to correct the problem, but we don't know how we got there in the first place. because we were so tied up into life, I guess, and brainwashed, I think, that this is how we should live. And I just think that there's so much, we see it all the time. People are stressed, and youth. I don't know about the rest of the world, but in North America, imagine youth are stressed. Like, I don't remember if you guys remember when you were like a teenager, you were having the time of your life. Like, you're having fun and you're so hopeful. And youth nowadays seems like, okay, I guess in North America, I'm going to say, because I don't know for sure if it's the rest of the world, they're so stressed out. Like, and you say to yourself, like, what is happening that we're like, I hate doom and gloom words, so I'm very careful, try not to use those words. And we've got to create hope for people. I think that's at the end of it, is that we have to create hope for people, and we can have some fun along the way.
Yeah, yeah. Let's just agree. Let me just agree and leave the floor for the others.
Yeah.
But yes, we as individuals and we as societies are there is an neurological part of that. Just to say that when we are into problem solving, neural network in our brain activates, that is problem solving network, and it closes for social aspects. It hibernates the other part of our brain that is open for innovation, open for other solutions, lateral thinking, accepting other ideas. We are so into this that we don't even accept better ideas that are caused amplification of our own idea. And that's why when we organize Climathon, for example, we do problem solving, then we do some game like, but problem related, not energizers, but we call it climatogizers. So we energize it that are related to the topic. We play, we activate this social part of our brain to open ourselves and don't go back. So we go into the problem, dive in, dive out, dive in, dive out. So I think that's the way how we should work. And policymakers, academia.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting point, Sinisa. Maybe we can organize some session on that. There is also a question from Nora that I saw that raised the hand. And also, Sinisa, look at the chat because there are some requests for collaboration from Kenya. So give a look. Nora.
Yes, thank you. So, yeah. So what I wanted to say is that I'm happy there is another person who talks fast. I'm very tired. I didn't sleep last night very well, almost at all. So maybe I'm slow right now and my words are not the right words, but I can talk like Sinisa. It's refreshing to see another person, yes, with this problem. Yes. Okay, so that was number one. And actually, what I wanted to say is also I like to use internal motivation. I don't know if Domenico and Joan remember I said that I want for people to do things because of good dopamine. So not financial reasons, nothing like that, just emotional reasons. Also because it should be a game which can be played anywhere, even if you have nothing. Okay, not having access to material things should not keep you away from playing and becoming creative and a problem solver and just doing things, And also in regards to what Joan said about climate anxiety, of course, you cannot treat climate anxiety with 10 cents or $1 or $3. You treat it with dopamine. You did the right thing, and this is what will inspire you to change the world, or like to be Jehovah Witness for the planet. Okay, inspire others, not money, basically. And what I wanted to say as well, I'm gonna put the link in the chat for the foldable bags formula. I wrote a little article, and I wrote there ways for schools to get money from businesses around them to buy these bags for children. And also I'm a supporter if there are seamstresses or tailors in the community that can do these bags instead of buying them from corporations. They can be produced by local seamstresses if the price is not very high in the end. And if any of you in your countries would do that. You can also reach out to me because I have some design, like simple designs, because I tried that as well, and I discovered the most simple design to be done by seamstress. It's not the same design as the ones that I bought. And also, I'm sharing the article about the classroom game, which is again a very simple game, just let's make the trash Olympic rules game. And that can be just a class conversation, which is appropriate in cold weather and warm weather. Let me share this here now, and also my email. And then as I said when I did my presentation, I'm actually gonna start. Actually, it's a game. It's a game that I will start with a group of college students in mid-January, and it's gonna be maybe like a month and a half, something like that. And I am looking for groups of students or any type of communities groups which are in a warm season and they can do cleanups. Okay, so they can reach out to me, whoever feels like that's appropriate. And John, I know it's very cold. You're in Toronto, so you can always join. We can talk to join. Like when it's April, maybe before Earth Day or something like that, when it's nicer outside, okay? Because I want to connect group of students and any type of communities. The group I'm starting with in mid-January is in a warm weather. So maybe India or countries in Africa. And it's simple, basically. It's all about doing cleanups and changing the world together. And people who live next close to bodies of water, they will also use Domenico's Trash for Treasure trash mapping system. And also, Sinisa, I will also talk to you because if you have access to students in Serbia, maybe they want to do the inside part of the game and continue in spring when it's warm outside with the rest.
So, Nora, I just want to point this out very quickly. We're having a course with Domenico on we're partnering with them, and part of the course is that they have the participants have to do a service component. So we could tie that service component as a suggestion. They don't have to just do that, but we could tie the service component to the course if that's something of interest.
Yes, I would love to. I would love to. And actually, wanted. So I'm preparing a menu of options for students where they can choose from. These college students do different things. They definitely will do cleanups. But I also spoke to a person who wants to launch an Instagram page about trash cleanups, whatever, and I propose to have takeovers. So students do takeovers of that Instagram. However, I was thinking, I don't know, Domenico, if could be, so I can not work with that person. I don't even know him, but create an Instagram page or something for Climate Social Forum just for trash. And as groups of students around the world participate, this is one of the elements when they do take over of the page, because that is a dopamine. This is like motivation without paying, without money. It's fun. They post pictures before and after. And that's how, when you have the page, Domenico or Climate Social Forum, you don't have to do much because it's like having interns. So I think I'd rather do this with us, this group, then I don't know that guy. I mean, he's nice as well, but you understand what's my idea? A lot of things can be done here.
Yeah. So you are proposing to have a section. So we have a platform. Yes, we have also channels and so on. Regarding trash. So this is something that we can discuss in our next internal meeting. Yeah, well, I mean, if the only thing is that the takeover, if there is guys or students that want to manage that, we can give the
Yes,
possibility.
how I think, I'm sorry I interrupted. How I think, for example, if these students start mid-January, Yes, to give them the option. So for 1 month and a half, when they do the project, every day, a student posted it's his or her own picture, whatever. So is less work for the platform itself. Yeah, it's takeover. You just manage. We just say like guidelines or stay in touch with them via the internet. And why I propose this is because let's say I start with this group and other groups come from India, from Africa, from whatever. I rather keep it in the house than work with somebody who is, I don't know, I just met the person online. Again, he can be a nice guy, but allows us maybe more creativity as we go, to do all kinds of stuff and use your trash to treasure more, like have more autonomy than work with somebody outsider.
Okay, we can think about that. As I say, the issue is to frame the management of the page. That for me, if there are like a group of students or activists that are doing it,
But it's always
totally
going to
fine.
be different students. So it's
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
be somebody from here all the time. And then when somebody works with the school, those students from the school that month, they do
Yeah, yeah.
daily posts and tags and stuff like that, and advertise trash to treasure, like all these programs, actually everybody's programs that are related to trash.
Okay. I see also a good, you can say, approval from the groups of climate social forum. So let's discuss about that and let's frame.
Amazing.
It's a
Okay, cool. I love it. I love it because it allows everyone to grow and to keep it, like I said, in the house, in the community.
great. No, I appreciate this climate social forum because it's full of ideas. Now I have to make the list we are making the wish list for the 2026 actually online.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
New Year is close. We should
Yeah,
make our
yeah.
vows.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing is that I want to start this like mid-January, like the teacher gonna give assignment to students. It's just an Instagram page, and then as we go,
Okay.
it's like knitting a scarf, and as you knit, you see how long it will be, what colors, what pattern. It's like
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's frame. I mean, I'm open and good. That's, as I say, the proactive climate social forum. I also have another idea. Maybe we can make a sort of reference page that, if everybody's agree, with the speakers eventually reference if they want to be contacted and so on and so forth. Because there are a lot of things. Of course, everybody's taking notes in the chat, but maybe we can organize a sort of reference list for trash. You can refer to Nora. For gamification, you can refer to Sinisa and so on and so forth. Let's see. Let's discuss later about that. Now, let's go ahead. There is now an intervention again from Priyabrata that has some ideas to bring on youth engagement innovation. So I will give the floor to Priyabrata for his speech, and then let's have the closing. The closing will be regarding a little bit the policy activity of Climate Social Forum. As you know, we design a policy paper for COP30 that we will share with everyone, but also we will get some insight from the different events that this autumn and has begun, so has happened and has changed or in a way contribute to the international framework on environmental protection. So the floor to Priyabata first, and then later policy making. Priyabata, are you there? Priyabata, are you there? I think that he has some problem of connection. Okay, so maybe when Priyabata is back, we can give the floor to him. So let's go then to the Priyabata, are you there? No. Yes, it's
I'm,
coming. It's coming.
I might.
Priyabata, are you there? Hello? Priyabata, are you there? Can you hear us? Professor Mukerie, are you there? Hello? Okay, in the meanwhile, that maybe is stabilizing the connection. Priyabat, are you there again? No.
Sorry. Yeah, I am here.
Okay. Okay. I give the
Some
floor
network
briefly to
problem.
you to like share some suggestions and tips of you. Yeah, sorry. Hello? Hello, I think he has some problems in connection. Okay, when you're ready, Priyabhata, just let us know. In the meanwhile, I want to share with you, as I said, the policy brief policy paper that we presented in COP. This year was a nice opportunity because we drafted a policy paper that we presented into the official Open Dialogue for Climate Change event. And I want also to give the floor to the drafters of the Climate Social Forum position paper to have like some brief comment over that. The paper is this one. It was of course for Copa Brazil. We share some 10 key points for Climate Social Forum to take climate action. Of course, we wanted to foster and recognize the implementation of international negotiation. This COP was the COP of implementation. We are so satisfied. I mean, for sure, the final text was not the most satisfying one, but a lot of things has happened in Belém. Maybe we will have the chance to talk. And also, we are organizing a special session for reporting the different outcomes from the international venues. We are pushing for meaningful youth participation, recognize climate justice as a social structural priority, strengthen climate cooperation. That's what we are doing. We did during these days. We are doing at the grassroots, but it's important, especially in this time, to recognize and foster them at the global level that sometimes, unfortunately, is not so trivial. Of course, it's important also to support the initiative that are working for real climate action with climate finance and allocation of resources, embed gender responsive approach to climate policy, support global frameworks for climate education. We are part of the PCCB, that is the Paris Committee on Capacity Building under the Paris Agreement, that is collecting a series of entities that are fostering the so-called ACE, Action for Climate Empowerment, ACE. So we are official member of the network, and of course we want to support that there are global framework for climate education. Prioritize loss and damage. This is a more technical thing, but it's important to allocate resources, not charity, because the issue is not to recognize the charity, but to recognize the damages that the climate change is doing. The interlinkage with food system. I mean, our topic this year was the soil, and there was a strong connection between soil and food system. Human rights-based approach is what we want. Always climate justice and human rights protection need to be at the forefront. We cannot solve the climate crisis if there is not just climate justice, basically. Empower rural youths, integrate smallholder farmers, and bridge the digital divide. No, we talk about that today. Digital solutions can really make the change, but they can be implemented if there is a proper implementation and you can say bridging the gap of the so-called digital divide, especially in rural areas. So COP should be a win-win, as being so and so. Of course, we will have like a proper session to comment. As I said, we have been there with I have been there with other colleagues from Climate Social Forum, our co-coordinator Adamu Dam, and also there were other friends there. Was a mixed feeling because a lot of things had happened, a lot of important resolution, allocation for funds for protection of Amazonia, Belém action plan on health, different things. So the message that I want to transmit properly, to do not stay into the doom and gloom, is that something has happened in Belém, but sadly, the countries did not agree on having a roadmap for transitioning away from fossil fuel that was declared in Dubai, as you remember, but was not decided yet how to do that. We understand today that if we are not having a plan, we cannot make the things basically. And so just to make declaration is not meaningful. And unfortunately, we're not there yet. And still, there are some countries that want to rely on fossil fuels. That's the matter of fact. And so that was, I say, mixed and feeling. A lot important things for the indigenous people that as like in the first part of the COP, they have been not so included. Then there has been a dialogue with them. Then they also obtain important result like 10 new lands concessed over the Amazon territories or by the government of Brazil. So recognition of the role of protector of indigenous people and so on. So that was a little bit about COP30. Now I leave the floor first to the authors because this was again a contribution of different heads, different brains that joined together to present our position paper. One of that was Joan. Then there was Tigis and the show that is there. That also is our international relation officer. And maybe we can give the floor to him. Dennis Odero, Dr. Sudhir Joshi, Dr. Bola Ziru. I don't know if you want to say a few things. Joan, Dr. Bola Ziru, Tigis.
Yeah, thank you very much, Domenico. I'm very grateful to be part of this program. It's very insightful. I always also thank all the other speakers and especially Jaquel for your encouragement and every other support that you have been giving to this program. I was around yesterday again. I saw your support for the program yesterday as well. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Tigist, I don't know if you can speak. I will maybe give you the floor also to say some insight from UNEA 7. If you can speak, even though
Yes,
Joan... Okay, please.
Hi everyone. Yeah, to just say a few words from the outcomes of UNEA 7, especially in relation to what relates to the dialogue we have been having the past days. I have picked a few of them, especially we were focusing on the effects of pollution, especially when it comes to plastic pollution. So one of the draft resolutions that were passed was on the sound management of chemicals and waste, which also includes pollution from plastic waste. So progress towards the sound management of chemicals and waste has not been sufficient in the past years. So that pollution in the air, water, and soil, especially now we have been speaking about soil health, it's negatively affected, and that affects the environment and human health. And acknowledging the need to take appropriate action to make faster progress towards the sound management of chemicals and waste, this resolution was passed. But in this, we really have to make sure context specificity is taken into account because that's very important, and the national circumstances and capabilities also needs to be considered, which we are given emphasis in the dialogues. The other resolution that was really very important and also with what we have been advocating for is the meaningful participation of youth in environmental processes and in environmental education. So this resolution recognized the urgency of global environmental challenge and crisis, including climate change, biodiversity loss and pollution, as well as desertification, land and soil degradation. drought and deforestation, and that their adverse impacts disproportionately affects the overall well-being of children and youth and impair the holistic development of their potential, particularly for those in vulnerable situations, and especially from countries that are really very much affected by drought and the repeated, especially for those of us from the African countries and East African countries, the not only the occurrence but also the intensity of those devastations have been increasing in the past year. So we really push forward this emphasized importance of creating a safe, inclusive, and enabling environments to support the full, effective, meaningful, constructive, and inclusive participation of all of youth in environmental processes. Also, that youth are not their engagement should pass from tokenism and should really be actual engagement, as they are. We have been seeing from the agri hackathons that we have carried out that they are very much innovative. They can come up with ideas. That they can come up with solutions. So we really have to make sure that there is a meaningful participation and engagement of youth. And so we are very much happy to be able to see this resolution passed on. And the other one was what I thought would be very relevant was promoting the synergies and cooperation and collaboration, which was one of the resolutions that was passed on the national implementation of multilateral environmental agreements and other relevant environmental instruments. But for this, we have to really emphasize that synergy is very important. And also, as we have been repeatedly saying in the Climate Social Forum, it's all about partnership, it's all about collaboration, it's all about bringing that synergy and taking the outcomes of the dialogues and making them context specific and applicable, especially at the ground and community level, because we want to really make the impact and the change to be at the grassroots level. So I have put all these inputs in the shared Google document, as well as I have shared the link for all the outcomes of the and resolutions that have passed from UNEA 7 engagements in the chat, as well as in the Google documents for further reference. And thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Tigist. Thank you for keeping us updated on UNEA 7, another important meeting for not only climate, but I mean, more environmental protection widely. And so it's important to have feedback over that. As I said, we will plan for the next year a proper session on international appointment that has happened in 2025 to report to the world community. Now, I don't know if Professor Priyabata Mukherjee is there. Yes, I'll give the floor to Professor Mukherjee.
Yeah.
Floor to you, Professor Mukherjee, for sharing some innovations on youth engagement. So please.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Am I audible? Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. Now, as my concern actually, I do with youth about 20 years with my college actually. So youth are the major, the source of energy in our society. We should engage youth, but all youth not interested for their I don't know, some private complexes or etc. But around every year we used admitted 400 students in our youth group, and among these 400, 100 or 150 students are very interested in this work. Actually, we all social work actually, health sector, environmental sector, solid waste management, etc. So they are very unique one. So and they are the future of our world actually. So we should include in every aspect. The youth are the main energy, and actually I have no PowerPoint presentation or etc. Very shortly, I says that my idea or my experience is that is very beautiful. Work with youth. They never you know work you with without trust, and they make a successful work. But we should interact properly with youth and make fun, make work also. Then they can take interest in any respect, in any aspect of the environmental or climate change aspect. And it's very good session, Domenico, for this. It's a very good session. More and more network is possible with this international session. So thank you.
Thank you, Professor Mukerie, and we are sharing the commitments to work and engage youths because we said several times they're not just beneficiaries but actors. Okay, so they can really make the difference and so on if properly engaged. Okay, so we come to the end of the Climate Social Forum 2025. I will leave now to some last remarks for anyone that wants to share some last thoughts. I will give this space, and after that, I will make my closing remark and the appointment for the 2026. I don't know if there are some sharings for the end. Joan, please.
Sure, thank you. So firstly, let me comment on the policy document, that it's just as important to have high-level policy, a high-level policy role, as well as grassroots action, so that many times people are one or the other. And talk is great and policies are great, but you have to do something about it. So I think that this forum has a mixture of those, and I think that's a good thing. So that's the first thing I want to say. And the second thing is that I like the divergent talents and passions that are represented. And I think that when you have goodwill and passion and a desire to do good, to make a difference, you can really do great things if you cooperate. And I think, again, that's a good thing that this forum has. I love what Nora said about doing things from the heart. Just for reference, I started the foundation on exactly those principles, that you can do things and make a difference without money, and proved it that you could do that. So it can be done. And people laughed when I said, I'm going to have a big worldwide organization, and it's going to be based on that. And they're like, yeah, sure. But it happened. So it can be done. And the other thing is that it takes a lot for people to take their own time to do something. And, at some point, you have to look in the mirror and thank yourself for making that difference, because sometimes we don't do that. And lastly, to say thank you to Domenico for always being so friendly and open to suggestions. And it's a very good thing having someone that's at the head, that if somebody says something, just being open to it. And I think that's what we really need, is that creativity and that dialogue and respect for ideas. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, John, and thank you to everyone. I can say because as you said, hearing different talents make you open to learn and to listen and to like give space. Sinisa, I saw that you raised the hand.
Yeah. Let's so first congratulations for the document for the COP. So great to see and that to join Joan on that. Join Joan on that is like this is we need to speak, we need to do creative thinking, we need to do lateral thinking, but writing a document, it's like we are going wide and then we are going concrete and deep into action. So that proves that CSF, I would say, that can do both. That's very important to know. And I was working with people that can do one and they cannot do the other, and vice versa. That's one thing. Second thing is regarding what the name of what the full name of Prebrata professor told about and Joan earlier about working with youth, that not all of them can be easily motivated and so on. My conclusion by working with youth is we don't have to motivate them all, and we cannot motivate them all. Actually, we are going to lose more if we try to motivate them all, because we are going to get rotten apple inside of the teams. So 3 years also, like working with teams, what I learned is you have to learn which team is not, it's like which team and which individual in the team is like hindering the team and so on, and the progress and so on. So you have to make develop mechanics that are up, and you have to put them in advance as a policies that prevents these cases. And by learning facilitation, you learn what can happen, and then you put in the policy, the people agree to that, and then you just call on for that. So this is like important things that you have to learn through the years of like working with teams. And second thing is what I know from playing and so on. There are different player types, so you motivate different people with different ways. Some are explorers, some are socializers. There are different categories for defining the players and so on, and different ways of motivation are not working for different people. So this is like the important things where the bond, how we can personalize, and that's a crucial thing. Somebody said like personalization is the next holy grail of the internet. I would say of a lot of the things, personalization. So we cannot approach education or collaboration, whatever, in the same way. You have to personalize it. It asks for more effort, but more success and so on. And the final, back to Climate Social Forum and so on. You opened, several of you opened this idea of that the Domenico put straight, and I will just comment on that. Domenico said like put some kind of the portfolios and something like that of ourselves and our projects and so on. And I would like, this would be really good step, because now I touch different topics and you forgot those. But if there, and Joan mentioned and Nora mentioned some, but it would be really great if we could have like this person, these are key expertise of this person that I have a project, I want expert like this. Also, this is the guy that I know through CSF, I would like to have for this team. And when I say I don't have this skill, or I have this skill, or these are the projects, okay, so I can combine my project and his project and co-apply for a grant, for something, to solve something. So these things, and I would just like share something that CSF already did, and I will try to rerun that incentive. I mentioned shortly ecological as a platform. Actually, Domenico was working with us several years ago on the platform called ecological, where we actually have the experts through working with climate. We work with worldwide experts from academia and so on and so on. And we said like we want this kind of, and those mentors are open to help for free to the teams of the students. And we bring them, they help the teams like for 1 hour mentoring and so on. And we were started to build their expertises, their availability and so on, what they are interested in, what kind of the projects and what they can offer to those teams, and on a peers level also. And we started to make the software for that ecological with Domenico and his team, ecological, and this is good motivation just to continue that. I will share the link actually where we started to bring this market, let's say market of the experts and projects, skills and the needs and so on, that we can connect through. And I will try to reinitiate that initiative for the EcoCollabo to connect us all to these projects and our expertise and our needs and offers. That's
Thank
my
you.
offer, at least from my
Thank
digital
you. No,
background.
that's very good. As I said, I will reiterate. I see also a lot of the speakers of this year. If you agree, we can make a sort of list of the presenters with the contacts and expertise, so you can synergize and collaborate and so on. Of course, if it is okay for everyone, we can go ahead with that. So I
Yeah.
see Michael with the raised hand.
Yes, yes. Thank you, dear leader and colleagues. I'm very clear, very happy to be part of this wonderful forum. As we are closing this climate social forum, I would like to leave us with this one simple reminder. We have to make sure that the soil is just not a resource, but it's just a responsibility. If we fail to protect the soil, we fail climate action. And if we fail to ignore communities, innovation will not scale. And if policies remain disconnected from reality, justice will remain the promises and not any outcome. So from the east side of DRC, where I am right now, to this global decision-making space, I will leave just to. I have already learned from different colleagues from different regions, Nigeria and others. So really, I'm committed to collaborate so that all our force might be just had like any other theory, but with one voice for climate change with the indigenous communities, women, and the youth, as it have already been said. And I have realized that let's move forward with courage and with comprehensive attention. And we have to make sure that soil governance will become the priority. And now it will never be late on. So once we will protect the nature, we protect ourselves, ourselves life. So we are the nature and the nature is us. I'm Michael Kakule. I've been very grateful to be part of this wonderful forum and learning from all colleagues, and looking forward to meet you once again. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Michael. Such a pleasure to have you with us. And thank you for your words. And of course, remind that we have to take care of. Nora.
Yes, I'm sorry. I will be short. So in regards with what I said about a form of social media or Instagram, especially for students to take over, I feel like a jerk. I said about that guy, I don't know him. It's not even about that. He seems nice, but my main point is the autonomy and to be able to keep it in the house and be able to rotate it, like just I don't know, half of us go on another planet, the other half have it, something like that, so it can be tracked down. Actually, the guy is very nice and he's very passionate about the planet, and maybe he can be part of this, but that's my only not even concern. I think it's more practical like that. Because it can be used for different initiatives too. Of course, it doesn't have to be just no, it doesn't have to be just trash. It can be takeover, and kids do tree planting, anything, absolutely anything. But is getting actually a little bit of a good dopamine and reward from doing the right eco thing in an organized fashion, like connect. Now, that was my point, basically, my main point. My brain, again, 3 hours of sleep, I'm sorry. And my words are not the right words. I'm like, oh, that guy. No, he's actually nice.
No worries, because the better ideas are coming into this situation. No.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you. That was all. Thank you so much.
Thank you to you, Nora. And no worries, it's a good idea. As I said, let's shape it, okay? And there is no problem to shape it. For example, we can provide a section of our channels dedicated to that. Climate Social Forum, both on Instagram and also on our website and so on. Let's take these elements to shape the new ideas that are coming. Okay, so thank you very much. I don't know if there are other intervention, even though I'm gonna close.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah, sure.
To Sinisa, would you be interested in doing a game called The Living Classroom for the Victory Garden?
In doing the game, or sorry?
Yeah, just so that a game where people plant vegetables and then, see what they do. And, I don't know, I was just thinking of a game as a living classroom. It could be sustainability, it could be broader.
Okay, so you asked me, would I be interested in
Yeah.
implementing that game?
Or starting the discussion on
or
how to
developing,
design.
or
Yeah, developing.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely, John. Let's talk through this channel, through whatever channel. Yes, and I have even colleagues that are interested in that. I was training people on developing the games. So yeah, definitely, it sounds nice, and I think that it could. I would like definitely to hear more. You have my email.
But the interest
there.
is there, is what I wanted to establish here.
Definitely. Definitely will. And definitely, whatever kind of game, that's serious game. We heard here playfulness and education definitely is something that I'm interested in and would like to at least advise or whatever, however.
Yeah,
to be
I
part
just
of
want to
it.
put a bit of context to it. When I was going to school, I don't know why my teachers all loved me so much. They gave me so much leeway, and I was probably one of the worst students in terms of attention. But I did very well. I was an A student, believe it or not. I don't know how, but they gave me so much leeway to be who I was. And they even took me to plays and things like that because I was more I liked experiences and practicality. And I read a lot of books. But what really, really drove me later was I went to Washington, D.C. and went to the butterfly. There are museums all over Washington, D.C. They're for free. And in one of the museums, there was this classroom with butterflies, and you could walk through it and learn about the butterflies. And I was in heaven because I love butterflies and birds and orchids and things like that. And I was like, wouldn't it be neat? And this is back, oh my God, in the early 90s. And I was like, wouldn't it be great if we could design a classroom for real? But digital is fine now because that's the digital world we're in, where students could just enjoy learning and they feel like they're outside, because that's one of my big things is I hated walls. That's why I hated school, was I hated walls. And wouldn't that be the experience? And that's why I came up with this whole idea of the living classroom, because it's always evolving. So
yeah, and it's different. It's not enjoy learning, but actually they live the process. So like classroom, they live the process through which they learn. So
Right.
learn is not product. It's a product of their behaviors, of their
Right.
actions, instead of a driver. That's the crucial thing that changes everything. Because people maybe don't like to learn. They like what comes after the learning.
Yes,
And if
the
you present them with
achievement, the
learning,
achievement.
and if you
The
present them
achievement.
first, you need to learn this for
Yeah.
that. I'm lost in the middle. But if you give them this, and I just wrote in the chat there as the answer to Ambassador Rafik, that if you present them like all these beauties, you bring them the fruits of that garden, and then you teach them how to reach to these fruits.
Exactly. Like right
That's
now I'm
the learning.
designing a course with Domenico, and I'm so struggling because it's so like old fashioned, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to do this, but I need to get the information out there for people to learn, because I know it's not true to my heart, the whole static learning. But
just go backward. Just go backward. Just go backward. Write it to the goal, and then turn back from the goal back to the
I did,
to
but
the
I'm just
why,
saying
and then how.
Yeah. Oh no, the content and
John,
stuff. Yeah.
If I can make a suggestion, first of all, let's remember the course, because I saw that also Ambassador Rafik was interested to the Victory Gardens and so on and so forth, and also other friends from Kenya. So just to remind, we are launching for 2026 a course hosted by the Capacity Building Hub of Climate Social Forum on Victory Garden, made in collaboration with Joan. So everyone is invited to learn a little bit about the Victory Gardens and so on and so forth. Joan, my invitation also is maybe during this window before the launch, we can integrate some modules with some of the inputs that we receive here and friends and so on and so forth.
Yes, yes, yes.
So that could be more, I mean, it's already a very good course in my opinion, but we can make it better. So
I'm all for better.
yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you to everyone. So let's just close, guys. I'm so happy, really. We started this climate social forum a little bit late because there was COP, there was UNEA 7 and so on. We were very worried that maybe was not like powerful as the other ones, but I can say, wow, was so nice and so really refreshing. Because I hear a lot of stories, I hear collaboration, I hear really mutual understanding, a good feeling, and a good climate also among us. So thank you very much for being with us. What can I say? That's, I mean, a promising start for the 2026. I wish you a happy new year also, closing the Climate Social Forum, and see you next year for the Climate Social Forum. But soon I understand that there are lots going on, and for sure it will be a vibrant year, and everybody will meet everybody, and so on and so forth. So just see you soon. Thank you very much, and
Thanks, everyone.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Great presentations.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you, TGs. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Great to meet with you all.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
Happy
guys.
New Year.
Thank you.
You just
Happy
made
New Year,
Happy
everybody.
New Year, everyone.
Happy
You
New
just
Year,
made my
everybody.
year better.
Happy New Year.
Merci beaucoup et bonne année à tout le monde.
Bonne année, bon anno.
Bonne année.
Merci.
Translate that.
Bonne année is
Srećna
happy
Nova
New Year.
godina. Let's do our own languages.
It's French. Happy New Year.
Let's say it in our languages. Happy New Year in our languages in the same time.
In Serbian,
Srećna. Yeah.
Happy New
Okay,
Year.
so this
Srećna Nova
code
godina.
language. This is our code language.